about the doxing, you were saying that you wasn't familiar
doxing,
with the internet.
No, and when they say doxing, I wonder what was going on when they talk about doxing. You know what I mean? Is that like somebody?
That means somebody
Like
puts all your
trying to.
information
What's
out.
up, everybody? It's your boy June 5th, June Money, and I'm back getting to the money. I love making content, man. This is what I do. So if you want me to bring some more videos to you, please hit the like, comment, subscribe so you can view. Let's get back to the video.
That's what happened to me.
Trying to. Oh, that what happened to you?
That's what
that's
happened
what
first. That's what happened. That was the first. That's what happened first, though. Or did dox June and his family?
So, I thought doxing was like shutting channels down. That was what I picked up on. Like when people try to infiltrate and shut the channel down or something. Because I didn't know if that's serious. You know, to try to get somebody's channel shut down. You know, putting people personal information out is not good because I mean it's so crazy out here now, man. I mean you just never know. But and then again, like I tell people all the time, if you just say you was to put a threat out on somebody and something worse to happen to, just say you just threaten somebody because you're in a heat of their moment and something actually happened to that person. The first somebody they gonna come see is your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So Blue Blanco, is this a person or this a gang or what?
Nah, this was like a person.
Okay, because I remember a guy, Blue Blanco, used to come on the chat and then all of a sudden he don't come up there anymore.
Yeah, his channel got deleted.
Okay, you know, that's another thing. I thought you can play whatever you want on YouTube as long as it's not, you know, something that kids can't watch or, you know.
So YoungBlood, you remember this day? You remember this live? It was me, you, Birmingham Brim, and Noel, and somebody else.
Oh, I remember.
This was the first time we ever met.
Yeah.
You remember that day, right? I ain't gonna play the whole thing. I just wanted to play a little snippet. You
what was
remember
the saying
that
again?
That was the first day I ever got to talk to you one-on-one, right?
Okay.
Well, basically not one-on-one, but you feel me?
Okay, that's the day when I pissed you off. I'll say that's the day where I pissed June off.
Oh yeah, okay. Nah, he say that's the day he pissed me off. Like he got.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Nah, not necessarily pissed me off, but that was the day when that was the day when you entered like the content realm with me. Like, all right, now I'm finna make content and explore him. Like, you feel me? Explore that situation deeper. But all right, so then that's when we both started making content, saying stuff. All right, right. This offended me. I'm not even gonna say it didn't. One, you said something about me having a job or me working at Domino's. That was slight. That's slight. But then you said like, okay, my mother should have swallowed me. You feel me?
Yeah, I remember I apologized to you. Yeah, and I was just acting a fool because I'm thinking that this is all just something, you know, to get people going back and forth. You know.
Now that I recall, we I think we did have this conversation the first time we spoke. Now that I recall, bro. So my apologies.
And you remember, and yeah.
Now I know the question. I know the questions was wild because it's like it's dealing with Mark, but I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I was really trying to ask the question, like, bro, he's saying you was caught in a closet with honeybee.
In the washroom, in the washing machine.
So if you getting mad at me for asking you that, you got to get mad at Mark for saying it. So
see, June, I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't upset at you for saying that because I think Mark said something about I had honeybee handcuffed
in the laundry room.
Funny, you know. Yeah, so I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Right.
making some wild shit. So, I was enjoying the country. You know what I mean? The podcast. You know what I mean?
So you
I thought it
saying
was
that's
hilarious.
cap? You never indulged in homosexuality in prison.
No, never indulged homosexuality at
Hey,
all.
No, never indulged homosexuality at
hey,
all.
And I don't.
can I ask
I don't.
YoungBlood a question real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
bro.
All right, YoungBlood, I got to ask you this, bro, because this shit been weighing on me for a minute. That
Okay.
you say you come out. The reason why you want to go on Noel's platform is you want to you trying to get the youth, steer the youth away from prison and stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
But you also said that half your friends was booty bandits. Also, when you was in prison, at the
Well,
same
I'm gonna
time,
be honest.
why you trying to talk shit about Mark this whole time? But you said half your friends was booty bandits.
Friend is someone that's trying to change, or someone that's not going to continue to do the same thing. A friend is someone that I would actually hang with. And I didn't hang with these guys. I know these guys from, I guess it's like a cliche, like saying someone your friend, like saying good morning, and it's really not a good morning.
Like the Michael King situation. Like, bro, do you really think that it's acceptable to just be friends with somebody that's convicted of these crimes or protect someone that's convicted of these crimes? Like, no
Yeah,
matter
and,
what religion they are, like, don't you think, like, as a man, that's something you should be willing to change? Like, you shouldn't be friends with those people. You shouldn't be cool with
Right.
those
yes,
people. If I was in prison and my friends was
uh,
doing that, bro, they would no longer be
uh-huh.
my friends, bro. I cut them off.
Okay,
Right. That's
That,
what
bro.
I'm
okay,
saying.
Like no matter
That's what I'm
okay,
what,
saying.
no matter what gang we is, no matter what religion we is, it's just
yes,
not
and I and
cool. You feel what I'm saying?
and I understand very much where you coming from. Cause see, the thing about it, I met Michael King in prison. He was
Mhm.
incarcerated um in prison, and when I met him, he was a part of the Islamic community. And most guys that has those kind of cases don't actually tell you what kind of case that they have.
Most guys that has those kind of cases don't actually tell you what kind of case that they have.
And how I found out the case that he had was by people in the free world that I was writing back to. But let me explain some to you. Now, when I went to prison, and by him being in the Islamic community, there's a thing that a phrase that you take an oath, and it's called the Kalima Shahada. That is something that you bear witness that there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet. And once you clarify that, it means that this person becomes your brother.
My brother did foul things. I gotta
Yeah,
disassociate myself with him no
and
matter what, bro. That's what I'm trying to
yes,
say. Like, you know,
and I truly understand that, and I would be in the same condition or the same mindset that you are in if I hadn't embraced Islam,
okay. So
and
what
that's
do
the
you do?
difference.
Like, nah. Thank you for answering the questions, bro. But what do you do? Like, do you still talk to him? Do you write him? Do you send him commissary? Like, are y'all still friends, bro? That's what I'm saying.
Well, um, he called me sometimes. There's several guys that I communicate within the prison system that I try to aid as much as I can. But I'm kind of very watchful of those things because most guys that go into the prison system, they embrace the Islamic community, and when they embrace the Islamic community, they embrace it for
When they embrace
protection.
the Islamic community, they embrace it for protection.
I did not know that he has those cases. I did not know that until upon being released.
Yeah, nah, for
And
sure.
Mm.
still, so when I went in, I was saying that I was in there for a drug case until you have to give like what you call your life story. And when
Mhm.
and when you give your life story, people ask you questions. And I remember a guy say, well, do you know what how much is a chicken? And when he said that, I'm thinking he's talking about a damn animal, a chicken. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
So that blew me out the water right then. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I did not know anything about the drug world.
Right. He was talking about
Yes, he was talking about
that speed shit. That
yeah,
speedy
exactly.
weed,
So
that meth shit.
yeah, so this was like a foreign language to me, you know. So because
Mm.
guys just didn't talk about the cases, man, and it's bad upon being released. And you go back and look at these guys that's continued. Either they going back, or you go onto the ADOC website and you see these guys what they're in for, and it's like just blow your mind. It's
Right.
like saying you can't judge a book by the cover. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so many had these type cases, man. These
And
homosexuality cases.
you was at some max camps too, young blood, correct? If you was at, you said you was at St. Clair too, right?
Yes, I was at St. Clair, and my custody dropped down to a 4, and I was at Limestone, because Limestone is a max camp now, but it
Yeah, it is
was
now. Yeah,
a level 4
it
camp,
was.
and
It
they
was.
just made it a
Yeah.
level and they just made it a
Ma-
level 4
fi-
about so many years ago. You
mhm.
understand what I'm saying? They were bringing
Right.
levels
Right.
out when I was
Right.
leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
Yeah.
up?
I think, man,
So,
you had talked about that shit one night because my homeboy died at St. Clair,
so
man.
you
From
don't feel no type of guilt from that though, young blood? Like okay, you still communicate with him knowing that he did these things, or
But
you know.
yeah.
yes, but I can't feel any guilt, because if a person comes here, I remember the time, and I'm a branch onto that. I remember the time that I was always against homosexuality, saying, man, this is what they can't come in, they can't practice this, they can't practice that, they should be banned, this and that. And the guy told me, he said, well, what you think about your case? He said, you think that by you having the case that you have, that you are better than them?
Right.
And it took me years to grasp that stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Even
Yeah.
today, I think that, hey, man, I mean, I still have that eye. Like, if you want to change, you got to try to prove that point. But who are me to judge, for real? And
I mean, I disagree with you, but
Yeah. Me too.
in that case, I'm
uh,
willing to say that those are not your charges. So
yeah,
I'm willing to, still, have you
and
on my stage or let you
even
up. You feel me?
even
But
even
yeah,
to
yeah,
this
go ahead.
even to this day, this day, he has not uh mentioned anything about his cases to this day, and I've been knowing him for over 30 years.
But it don't
Yeah,
matter though. He still
yeah,
got
it
them.
still don't matter, bro,
He still
because
got,
he
yes,
Hey,
wrong.
June,
He
yes,
wrong for
hey,
that, bro.
hey,
You,
June, can I say something, bro?
yeah, go ahead, go
Bama
ahead.
boy, what's up, Bama boy?
Family boy, man. What's up to everybody on the channel, man? I can't
What's
hardly
up,
speak.
big dog?
What's
What's up,
up,
bro?
Bama boy?
What's going on with everybody, man?
I'm all right.
hey, Bam.
Why did you go so hard on Mark when you don't have no evidence, but you accept this, but you accept the Michael King guy?
Okay. Well, the reason I went so hard on Mark is because he was on the documentary, and
Uh-huh.
these are the things that they done in prison. Yes. Mark was actually doing those things in prison. Now, as
Hold on,
far
Nah,
as
well,
him
he
but
doing,
you don't
said
know
you
that.
didn't
But you don't
see.
know that for sure, though. You just know that about what he said on the documentary,
Yeah,
though.
you didn't
yes,
see him
because
doing
That's,
it.
because
that's what I'm saying right there.
no,
Yeah, that's what.
it's far as me being visibly seeing something.
As
No,
far as me being visibly seeing something, no.
if Michael King can come on this right here, I will address him the same way. What made you do these things to these people? Because I really want to know.
I said Mark said his situation wasn't true either, but you still went in on him. I can't. I don't understand.
And yes, I went in on him because I'm let me plug it. I'm was on Nowhere show, and this what the topic was about. It was about Lamar Moore.
Topic was about. It was about the Mark Moore. I
Uh-huh.
got it, man. You done said some really wild things. Sometimes things I'm gonna refer to as foul. And
Okay.
one thing I want to know, man, would you compensated for being on that other channel?
It's a
No,
good
I never
question.
got one dime. That's
Never got one dime. That's
the honest. That's the honest God truth. Because when I come on here, I don't do it for to get compensated. I do it honestly to let people to be aware of it. You know, I make my own money. I have my own job, and I do what I do.
So you basically saying this. You only feel like Mark is guilty based off of the documentary, not what you actually seen him do.
I never seen Mark. I never seen nobody participate in homosexuality in prison.
YoungBlood, do you see what's going on from the beginning?
Yes.
Everybody is saying that like you are like another key witness to seeing Mark do homosexual in prison. Now you saying you never saw him do no homosexual in prison.
I never.
You only saw the documentary.
Warden wise, he was a warden at Limestone, and he was also a warden at St. Clair Correctional Facility. And the things that he said how they do, you know, if they was to catch someone in homosexuality, they would get rolled up.
Catch someone in homosexuality, they would get rolled up. But
how I know Warden Wise, because I was shipped one time by Warden Wise from the Islamic community, and I think I have several people that I communicate with as far as being guards and things that's in college, because I don't dislike the wardens or the guards unless they do harm to an inmate.
When you said
okay,
that's my warden, what did you mean, bro?
And, yes, and when and June, the reason I said that because I knew this was going to be a blow up moment.
Going to be a blow up moment.
Okay.
You know, I knew this, yes, I knew this gonna be a blow up moment. I told my wife, I say, watch this. I said, not gonna say don't y'all talk about.
You just trying to get a reaction.
Okay. You made some plays. I see what
you was trolling.
Yeah,
he definitely made some plays, bro. That I definitely respect, bro. I definitely respect. Like that wasn't the only play he made. Okay, did you hear what Warden Wise said on the documentary though?
What did he say?
Work out of prison that didn't have
homosexuality.
Yes,
right.
And the reason why, and let me explain to you. The reason why, I'm gonna tell you about a max count. Warden Wise is what you would call a convict warden. If you ran a prison, these are things that keep the inmates at bay. Because if you ran the prison and they wouldn't have these things to distract them, they'll take over that whole prison. They know this. They don't have the adequate amount of guards to do nothing in incarcerated to the incarcerated people. The prisoners, by them having these little ponds, this keep them busy. And see, I know this.
No, I wish you could talk to Mark, bro. Because
can I ask you? You don't have to worry about them. They actually the biggest. You know, nobody in prison goes out and buy marijuana. Nobody goes out and buy cocaine.
Right.
Even they got down to fentanyl and stuff. The majority of these things is some of it come off the visitation yard, but a lot of it is by the guard.
They say that I don't remember exactly what you said about Mark, but they saying that you said you saw Mark doing homosexual activities. And now you saying you never saw him doing that, so that's why I'm like, damn, I wish you could talk to Mark now. You feel me? Like,
yeah. If I ever said that Mark, yes, if I ever said that I saw Mark doing homosexual activity, I'd like for them to replay it, and if I said that, I will be able to answer that question or not.
First of all, you came right on time, right after the hips went off. You came right on. Secondly, you and another guy was going on and talking about Dante. You said, well, you heard what Fleet said about him. Fleet said he would have had him. And then you out your own mouth, you said, look at his lips. They would have been wrapped. They'd have looked so good wrapped around another man's wife. Say something like that.
To say you're not lying because Krim agreeing with you. I don't think both of y'all are saying.
You did say that.
I got no reason to lie on you, bro.
Yes, and if I did say that, believe me, I am shooting shit to y'all. Trust me, because I had to get in while I fit in. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
why I said you gotta be getting paid to say some stuff like this.
No. You call a entertainer or what? I mean, I go to work, come home, I take care of my dogs, and I don't have. I'm just not an outgoing person like that. You know, I do my little fishing and stuff like that. So when I found something like this on, I said, well, hell, it's entertaining.
How did you find Noel or Noel found you?
Okay, I was watching Dante's show, and Dante was on there, and I was strolling up looking at podcasts, and that's how I found a lot of different podcasts talking about different things on YouTube.
YoungBlood. What's your name, brother? What's your name?
I'm not going to tell you my name. They have somewhat of a perspective.
Okay, I respect that. You know? I respect that more than I respect hearing you say that my name is not so. All right, I'm good.
I asked him that. That was like the first question.
I appreciate you being straight up.
Yeah. June asks that all the time. Even I text June and email stuff like that. You know what I mean?
All right,
You said you were locked up with Mark in Limestone, right?
Yes.
What situation you and Mark was in for you to make up all these allegations about him like that? Like, what did he like? Did he like?
Well, I never was in a situation to make up. These are the things that those guys was doing. I mean, and trust me, I don't like saying those type things, but Alabama prison, man, 85% or probably more of those guys.
You said you keep saying you keep every time somebody say Mark, you said those guys, but we talking about if Mark didn't do this, why you keep saying that he done it and you never seen it?
I never seen nobody incarcerated screw another man.
I never seen nobody incarcerated screw another man.
99.9%. If you saw a white guy and a black guy hanging out together, more than everything, something was going on with those guys.
Yeah,
because it just didn't happen.
So you basing it off your knowledge as an inmate, as this, as that. You not saying that you know Mark personally and you know these events happened to him personally. You saying for sure if he's saying it on the documentary, it's true because I know how the program goes in Alabama. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. Yes, June. I would totally.
That's why when you said he not a blood, when you said Mark not a blood, you saying you know the codes of being a blood and that don't in the code. You not saying I know personally he not a blood based off of I know the niggas put him off the set and this, that, and the third. You was saying it from the other aspect.
Yes, because I know a lot of Bloods and Crips and gangster disciples that wouldn't allow those type activities that go on. There are some that is what you would say like true to the game. Most of those guys that do it, this is what they do. I'm not gonna tell on you because I don't want you to tell on me.
Hey, I'm speaking as a white dude, right? So I was locked up at Ventress, right? Almost 2 years. I know this. Back then, Ventress, it's not the way it is. Ventress was a lot more violent than it was back then when I went. But I still saw a lot of shit going on. But I never got fucked with no bullshit like that, no booty bandit type shit or none of that. But I am GD, but still, but I'm saying that nobody ever fucking try to try me like with no fuck shit ever when I was there. All
right, so you didn't get into no fights with no vice lords, like because it's a vice lord. It's a vice lord. You feel me?
I didn't know any vice lords.
Huh?
I didn't know any vice lords.
Because they saying that you used to get beat up and extorted, and you wasn't no blood in prison. Was you a blood in prison?
No, I'm not a blood. I've never been a blood. I never been a blood. I never been affiliated with the blood. I go on here as YoungBlood to make content on that.
YoungBlood to make content on that.
I've never been affiliated with the blood.
Okay.
I have an older brother that represent the blood gang.
Okay. Now it's making sense. Now it's all adding up. It's all adding up.
I never been a blood.
All right, Trill. So as far as your charges, right? Because I like again, bro. I never been to prison. So when it comes down to certain things, I gotta ask because I don't really know what this mean and what that mean. You said that you had got 3 unalive charges, and you got convicted to 1 or something like that. And Mark was like, "Bro, that's impossible for somebody."
Let me tell you. Yes, yeah. I was convicted. I got my charge of capital murder. I had 3 convictions. One was capital murder burglary, one was capital murder robbery, and one was capital murder shooting into an occupied dwelling. And what the courts do with that, they try to put these charges on you so they can come with a conviction. This was upon one individual. So they put these charges on you upon going to court. And when I went to court, I was found guilty of what they say felony murder. And I was sentenced to a 30-year sentence in the state of Alabama prison system. I did 2.5 years in the county jail, and I did 15 and 7 months behind the gate. And I made parole on my second point going up.
So it wasn't like no gang related. It wasn't like gang related.
No. I would be glad to tell my about my case.
Yeah. Nah.
I was guilty, and I mean, because the reason why, man, because me telling my story about these things can actually help some people too. I was guilty by association. My younger brother actually shot and killed this guy. And I would give my whole story on that because I would like to, because it's an open book, and this would just let guys know how things can happen and change your whole life from one incident. For us, me being a violent individual, people that know me know I've never been a violent person.
Now, I just want to let you know, bro, I appreciate you coming up and answering these questions. You feel me?
Yes. And I like to go on the podcast because that was in the making of Noel, but I don't think he does any shows anymore. I don't really know, but I would like to give my story, and it's free of charge. To put it out there.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey,
I definitely want you to come up, bro, because I got a lot more questions I could ask you. It's a lot of stuff we could talk about, bro. You feel me?
Yes. And
so I definitely appreciate that.
YoungBlood.
Okay.